Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Ultima VII Part 2, Serpent. Alright, I decided that these barrels here are going to make a pretty good place for us to dump off stuff that we don't really need right now. So all of this cloth that weighs an awful lot, I decided to put there. Let's see if Iolo needs any of this armor. He's got the boots, he's got better pants, he could use the leather gauntlets. There we go. He needs armor, though. I don't know why Lord British sent him to Serpent Isle without armor. It's weird. Alright. You know, it feels like the, There we go. I don't think I had the speed quite right. Alright, let's see. Was there any armor? There was armor in here. Let's go ahead and borrow that. There you go, get a chain coif. Alright, but we need to get him his crossbow back. Let's see, who was the guy whose urn was missing? That was Caladan, I think. Now, where the hell could he be right now? Let's look around a bit. What time is it? Alright, it's only a little bit after noon, so he should be... Maybe he's at the, No, that's not it. There, tavern? No. Well, that's disappointing. Perhaps he's training at the list field. It was not what I planned to do. There we go. Okay. That's Templar. It does not look like he is there. Alright. He's probably not going to be in any of the houses. Well, I suppose at this point, I should get back to checking to see if there is any loot that I have not picked up. Because I kind of had an abortive attempt at completely looting this place. And we'll talk to people who may not have talked to yet. I should probably not check these that I've left the doors open to, because I imagine that I have already taken their goodies. Well, now that we're a knight, let's see if she has anything new to say to us.
Glad to see thee again, knight. What may I do for thee?
Let's see, we asked about the fur cap. Alright, I'm pretty sure we talked to her about all of those things, so there's nothing new there. And that just has pelts in it, those crates there. I like how the backpack has fallen behind the thing. Do you have anything in here? Oh yes, this is where I have deposited stuff, that's right. Oh yeah, because he had treasure chests up there. Those are probably all empty. Alright, so other than store items, we've looted all those. I think there was some stuff that we might be able to get in here. We can avoid getting caught. Go back to sleep. Maybe we should... nope. Alright, get out. Get out. Get out. Alright, let's see if we can pick these locks. How many lockpicks do I have? 5. I might want to buy some more. There's a cup. And some monetary. Dang it. Pick broke. Uh-oh. There we go. Well, it has some gauntlets. Grab them. Ha ha! We grabbed them right before he woke up. Neener, neener, neener. Hi, kitty. Oops. I want my stuff. Alright, Iolo, go ahead and put those on. You put those on, right? Yes, you did. Good. Okay. Well, there are definitely some people that we have not talked to yet. Did we completely talk to you? Duties. Pretty sure we've talked about all of this stuff. Do you have any ideas about the traitor?
I have mine own suspicions. Take a close look at Craig. He seems to spend a lot of time in the woods on long walks, alone.
Alright, I think we've talked about all of those other things. And, Faunish Ale. We've looked at that. Alright. Let's go talk to Craig. Oh, I think that's Kaladin.
What art thou, a moron?
No, this is, what, Luther?
Canst thou not see that the artist is at work? Andrel is sculpting me. When my bust is complete, then my fame will be perfect, and they shall surely proclaim me knight champion.
I'm not sure that it works that way. Alright. That is... Luther, yeah. Well, we haven't talked to, Andrel here.
Hello, stranger. I am Andrel of Monitor. Dost thou need the services of a master artist?
Well, not really.
Perhaps I should not speak with thee. I hope thou art not come to rob me. I'm a knight now, see?
Artist.
I am a sculptor by trade. There is a brisk business to be done in the city, fashioning busts and statues for the knights.
Well, let's talk about these other things first. Sculptor?
Thou mayest have noticed the various sculptures around the town. I crafted many of them. 'Tis our custom to carve sculptures to commemorate the bravery of our finest warriors. Now that thou art a knight, thou canst live for the day when I shall sculpt a monument for thee.
Oh, I have plenty back home, don't worry. And actually, some of these around here look awfully familiar. Knights?
As thou knowest by now, this is a city of warriors. I myself passed the knight's test when I was 15, but my true love hath always been art. The other knights sometimes mock me, for I am seldom seen at the list field. Canst thou imagine what a blade could do to my gifted fingers? But alas, an artist is always misunderstood.
Oh, I know how you feel. I don't get Iolo here at all. Well, he's not really an artist. He's more of a, a hack.
Hey, I heard that!
Sorry. Let's talk about a commission.
For a fee, I create works of art to honor knights when they complete great quests, or when they simply wish to pay me money for a monument to their vanity. Dost thou wish to commission a work from me?
No, not at this time.
I am proud of thee. Thy life and thy deeds are all the testament anyone truly needs, provided one hath truly made something of their life.
That doesn't seem like a good line to repeat when your business calls upon us to come commission you for work. Just saying. Tell us about the list field.
There is so little time in this life, and 'twould be an utter waste for someone of mine artistic abilities to engage in duels. Should I spend that hour in profitless combat solely to please my fellow knights? I think not.
Good man, I admire you for that.
Instead, I could be crafting another masterpiece, so that my name will be known to future generations. This is true glory.
I kind of agree with him there. Misunderstood?
I have no friends.
Ooh, that sucks.
The knights tolerate me and value my services, but they do not share mine interests. There once was a woman who cared for me, but we quarreled. She too hath art in her soul, but she hides her secret well. Lucilla would not pay the price that I have to be so alone. Do not weep for me, my friend. I am proud of who I am.
Well, you know... Wait, no, that was Lydia that we killed, not Lucilla. Yeah, I can't keep any of these Monitorian women straight. Tell us about being robbed.
I'm not sure that I care to speak about the incident. 'Twas most unpleasant.
Well, perhaps I can help you.
There was a stranger in Monitor, one who claimed to be from another land. He was very large, a scholar rather than a warrior. He traveled with many companions, including a tall, cloaked stranger.
Doesn't sound familiar at all.
On the night that Batlin the Sage left town, someone stole an ancient relic from mine home. I suspect that he was the thief. Batlin, why, he is our enemy too!
Oh, shut up, Dupre. I'm talking here. Tell us about Batlin.
He came inquiring about ancient ruins, and was especially interested in the Serpent Stone, but Renfrey could tell thee more of this. Simon the innkeeper heard the sage say that he had come here from Fawn.
Companions?
There's not much to say. The one in the cloak spent most of his time in the inn and seldom spoke. Perhaps Simon could tell thee more. There was also a warrior named Brunt who traveled with Batlin. He was small in stature, but with incredibly broad shoulders. Oh, if only he would have posed in my studio, I could have created such art. Standar fought him in the Listfield and said that he was an opponent unlike any other.
Tell us about this artifact that you had.
Mine ancestors found the relic when they first founded the city, and it hath been kept in the family all this time. To be honest, we were afraid to discard it. It had a demonic appearance, being shaped like a serpent and composed of a dark rock never before seen. Perhaps Black Rock, Avatar.
Shut up, Iolo, I know what he's talking about.
We hated the object, yet we were afraid to be parted from it. I cannot explain this, but it was so.
Tell us about Fawn.
The City of Beauty lies due north of here, on the shores of a great bay. Fawn is a city of fishermen. Thou mightest like Fawn, for 'tis a place where members of thy sex are highly regarded. The city is ruled by a queen, and the priestess of beauty is also female.
Demonic appearance?
Monitorians are not a superstitious people, yet we fear the ancient ruins. They were once the homes of daemons who ruled this land in a distant age.
Really?
They were horned beings with red skins, and they had the power to command molten rock to flow.
Yeah, I think you're talking about gargoyles.
The serpent was their sign.
Serpent-shaped.
Indeed, 'twas as if a living serpent had been changed into stone, a perfect replica. 'Tis not uncommon to see the symbol of the serpent among the ruins, yet I have never seen before or since any such rock serpent. Couldst thou describe the curvings of the serpent? Why, the head curved to the right, and the body was most sinuous. Why dost thou ask? Avatar, this man's stolen relic was a perfect match for the one now lost in the storm, except that it faced the opposite way.
I'm sure it's unrelated, Shimino. Alright, nothing more?
But let me say this. Batlin shall not rest in peace, for a powerful warrior is on his trail. Dost thou know of Wilfred the Slayer?
No, but is he related to Hawk the Slayer?
Wilfred is a knight of Monitor, but his home is at the Inn of the Sleeping Bull. Batlin hath been there as well, and Wilfred's father hath mysteriously disappeared. Wilfred suspects the sage of being involved. Surely brave Wilfred shall track down the sage and kill him, and I shall enjoy sweet revenge.
Tell us about the Sleeping Bull.
Thou canst find the Inn of the Sleeping Bull by taking the Serpent Highway north from here. There's not much there, save for an ancient inn for which the village is named. Wilfred's brother Argus doth operate it.
Alright, I think that's all for now. We will meet with you later, Luther. Alright, we have already put the town's funds in safekeeping. That's good. Let's see. Kaladin.
So, 'tis thee again. Well met. How shall I aid thee?
Name.
Hast thou forgotten why I am Kaladin? Duties? I am the leader of the command of the bear.
Tell us about what you think of a traitor.
Whoever betrayed Astrid's patrol must have been a knight. No one else could have done it. Craig is the most likely suspect, as thou didst hear Luther proclaim at the banquet. Someone should question that weakling and see if his guilt can be proven.
Was Lydia the traitor?
Listen, Elmandretta, just because a woman tries to kill thee is no reason to defame her good name. What? I'll admit Lydia dishonored herself by poisoning thee. 'Twas a shameful act. Yet I cannot believe that she'd betray her entire city to the goblins. Impossible! I tell thee, Craig is the traitor.
Was Schmed the traitor?
Ha! Schmed was the worst coward in Monitor. We let him hide in the knight's test to spare ourselves the agony of exiling him. He was terrified of goblins. So how could he have become their spy? This makes no sense.
I don't know. Being scared of an enemy is a really good reason, actually, to become traitor and help them out. I mean, if they threatened you, for example.
Besides, the matter at Knight's Test smacks of wizardry. I think thou hast an unknown enemy from among the mages of Moonshade.
That could be. Change subject.
Certainly.
Command. The Bears. Pretty sure we've asked about all of these. Fallen Tower. Useless. Betrayed. Goodbye. Alright, I guess we can't talk to him about that. We've got to just go replace it.
So we meet again, Elmandretta, and thy tattoo makes thee even more desirable than before, milady.
Yes, let's welcome him to the Wolf Command.
'Tis good to have thee as one of us, Elmandretta. Again, congratulations on receiving thy knighthood.
Do you know about Gwenno? Let's see, that's... Oh, I think we've already asked about that. Duties...
Ladies? None of the ladies in Monitor are as beautiful as thou. When I gaze upon thy lovely features, I no longer remember that I have had relations with nearly every woman in this town.
So you're responsible for all the STDs around here. It's good to know.
What were their names? Lydia, Lucilla, Shazana, Celia. And dost thou not see the resemblance between myself and young Cantra?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen Cantra's father, so I couldn't tell you.
But I should not speak of this. Well, they mean nothing to me now that thou art in my life.
Really? Lydia?
Lydia was a strange woman, beautiful but dangerous. They say her sister was even more beautiful, but the sorcerers took her away to their city. 'Twould certainly be an experience to meet her, I am certain of that.
Tell us about Lucilla.
She is quite a flirt, that one. A true tease, if thou dost know what I mean. Quite good-looking, and fun, too. To tell the truth, I believe she must be interested in someone else. A secret torrid affair, perhaps? Now, who could her lover be? I haven't a clue.
Tell me about Shazana.
Now that Astrid is dead, Shazana deeply desires to be the new champion knight of Monitor. It is not such a great revelation, of course. Any of us would gladly welcome such an honor.
Celia?
She is more quiet, yet she is not unaffected by the often lonely life of a Monitor knight.
Harna?
She is a widow now, and hath a fine daughter. These days she keeps to herself and dabbles in magic. Canst thou imagine? Ha! I hope Cantra can be found. The goblins must have taken her. They eat children, as thou knowest.
Alright, let's change the subject.
Of what shall we speak?
Let's talk about the traitor.
The charges against Craig are odious. Simply because a man is different doth not make him a criminal. He is not the traitor.
Well, I'm pleased that you're standing up for him.
I would not be surprised to find that one of the bears did play traitor to their own command. Inspect closely the actions of Luther. He is not to be trusted. He is a braggart and a buffoon. He thinks he shall be the next champion knight, but he hath never beaten me.
Did we already? Yeah, we already asked about that. No, wait, we didn't. Bye. Shut up. Can we talk to you again? Traitor. Was Lydia the traitor? I talked to Kaladin about that.
I find it hard to believe that any member of my command could be a traitor to Monitor. How could she betray the patrol? She was a tattoo artist, not a warrior. No, Luther is still the most likely suspect. Continue on thy quest to find the traitor, my friend.
Why is it my responsibility?
As thy commander, I order it.
Great. Was Schmed the traitor?
I do not pretend to know what happened in the knighthood dungeon, but it sounds more like wizardry than goblin mischief.
Well, they could have wizards.
Dost thou have enemies in the city of mages, Elmandretta? Hast thou been to Moonshade?
I have not, actually.
Lord Marston may want us to believe that the traitor hath been caught, but I do not believe it.
Alright, let's change the subject. What about Luther?
He may be a bear, but he doth act like a pig. Ha!
What about the list field?
If thou dost feel like a skirmish, I shall be happy to meet thee there at the list field. I often give lessons in combat, teaching how to strike quickly. I am there every day at 3 o'clock. Thou dost look like thou art capable of a couple of rounds. And if thou dost meet me at my barracks at next midnight, I shall show thee another way to spar. My room is at the corner of Cosrick Street and Roland Street, facing the list field.
Ugh. I feel a little dirty. Alright, goodbye. Alright, hey, Warren.
Yes, how may I help you?
Duties.
Frankly, I do so many things. I am Monitor's treasurer. Lord Marston may order things done, but I must find a way to pay for it all.
We've talked about that. Gwenno.
There was a woman here a while ago who spent much time in the Hall of Monitor examining our museum display. Very friendly. Where did she go from here? Dost thou know? She left here for the east, to study at the library in Monk Isle, as I recall. Avatar, we must journey onward and find her!
Hush up, Iolo. What can you tell me about Monk Isle?
Frankly, 'tis a mysterious place. I do not know much about it, except the legend that wise monks dwell there. The only way to go there is by ship, but there are no sailors here. The storms have discouraged them. Perhaps thou couldst hire a captain in Fawn, which is a city of fishermen, or at the hamlet of Sleeping Bull.
What about being a knight? Alright, we've, talked about that. Tell us about Fawn.
Fawn is a coastal town filled with the worshippers of beauty. Frankly, I find those people to be a little too superficial for my liking.
That sounds like that would be accurate. Sleeping Bull?
The inn there is a very old establishment, built in the days before the founding of the 3 cities. The village is built around the inn. Since it is such a crossroads, thou canst often meet all sorts of interesting folk there. And it is the direct link to the City of Mages.
Do you know anything about the City of Mages?
A place where I shall never be seen. I distrust magic in all its forms. Moonshade is on the Isle of Beyond, which is across the channel from Sleeping Bull. Thou wouldst need a boat to journey there. Perhaps thou couldst obtain a new spellbook there.
You might not want to... Maybe you shouldn't have said that out loud, Iolo. Taxes? Invasion. I think we've talked about that. Alright, we don't need to exchange coins right now.
"'Tis a pleasure to see thee, Knight Elmendretta. As the Lord of Monitor, I am always at thy service."
Duties. Pretty sure we've asked about that. Goblins. Leopards. Command. Ancestors. Okay, pretty sure we've talked about all that. Wolves. Bears. The Bears. Hall of Monitor.
This is a magnificent building. It serves as both a seat of government where important meetings are held and as a museum of sorts.
Museum. I think we've asked about this. Meetings. Alright, traitor.
"Thou hast slain the traitor, knight. Well done. Lydia must have been part of Schmed's secret conspiracy, but that no longer matters. Both of the goblin spies are dead."
Okay. Seriously, why is that chair burned? Alright, are you guys all the exact same? You're just sitting on the... Idiot pikeman. Alright, so let's get Iolo's, that's not there. Let's get Iolo's crossbow back. Actually, we can talk to this guy wherever he is. Hush up, people. Ah, I think there he is.
What? Oh, 'tis thee again.
Name?
Flame? Oh, yes, we keep the fires going constantly.
"She said name, old man, not flame."
Oh, as thou could tell, mine hearing is not what it once was. 'Tis the roar of the fires which hath done it. I am Renfrey, knight and cremator.
Duties?
What? Why, I am the Undertaker of Monitor. Didst thou not know that? I thought everyone knew that. Do not forget, knight, that one day I shall cremate thee.
Undertaker?
I take care of the dead. I'm in charge of the crematorium. I prepare bodies for cremation and oversee the chamber that houses the ashes of the dead.
Body?
Dost thou carry a pikeman's body for cremation?
No, I don't. So you can actually bring him pikeman bodies for cremation. The cremator.
Be reverent when thou art in the presence of the machine of cremation, as it represents death itself. After I throw the switch, the pumps begin to churn. When the heat builds up, the trap door on top opens. The body then falls into the fires below. The mechanism retrieves the ashes of the dead and places them in an urn. A traveling belt carries the urn out of the fiery belly of the machine, so that I may collect it and take it to the crypts of the dead. Careful with what thou wouldst put near that thing. It hath the capacity to destroy practically any object in the world.
Ashes of the dead?
'Tis the Monatorian custom to cremate our dead. The ashes of a dead knight are sacred. They represent the essence of that person's life, distilled by the mystical processes of the cremator. So it's magic. No, it's not magic at all! In the crypts of the dead are urns filled with the ashes of generations of knights. The ashes of the dead are our heritage.
The dead.
I am glad thou didst mention that. Remember that, if thou shouldst ever stumble across the remains of a brave departed pikeman, thou must bring his body home for cremation. If thou dost not do this, the ghost of the dead will torment thee until thy dying day. I have been given authority by Lord Marston to pay 100 monetari for every pikeman's body brought home again.
So yes, if you're feeling a little bit un-Avatar-like, you can milk this.
That way they can be properly entombed within the crypts.
Urn.
Andrel, our town sculptor, makes them.
The sculptor makes brass urns? Why don't you cast them? Mysticism?
We are a community of knights. For us, the world is a harsh place, in which only the valiant survive. We do not trust magic. Thou couldst not sell a magical weapon in this town at any price, yet there are powers greater than mere magic. One of these mysteries concerns the ashes of the dead. As we all know, the ashes of Grenadier lie at the end of the knight's test. What is the power which causes the totem animal to appear? Not even I can say. And no one can explain the Serpent Gate, yet we have built our city above it.
Tell me about the crypts.
They're just beyond the curtain in the crematorium.
Andrel?
Talented, but very solitary person he is. Never leaves his house except to go to his workplace. He was especially upset by the recent theft at his shop.
Grenadier.
I can hardly do justice to the tale. Thou shouldst speak to Lord Marston. Suffice it to say that when our blood is mixed with the ashes of the dead Goblin King Grenadier, the totem animal of a Monitor Knight appears. Grenadier was our greatest foe. Do his ashes stand for hatred, and thus the animals are produced to try to slay us? Or do his ashes symbolize courage? If so, this suggests that the goblins have more in common with Monitorians than many would like to believe.
Maybe you shouldn't say that out loud. Serpent Gate?
A stone platform hidden in the crypts. The inscribed serpent marks the stonework as being the product of the daemons. Such daemons once dwelt throughout this land, but for as long as the knights have been here, the daemons have confined themselves to the dungeon called Furnace. By legend, the platform is called the Gate of the Serpent. But a gate to where? To what?
Tell me about this theft.
Had something to do with that sage who was in town recently. Andrel will know more about it. Talk to him.
Dost thou know the name of the sage?
I have a perfect memory for names. 'Twas Badwin, I think. A very large man, with a hooded companion. Not hooked. That was the last game.
Must be Batlin.
Alright, goodbye.
What? Oh, goodbye.
Alright, let's go get our weapon back for Iolo. Just go ahead and turn on some lights here. Alright, where was the there it is. There are no thank you, torches. Shut up, people. Alright, let's go ahead and take back the crossbow here. Too heavy. Well, shucks. Still too heavy. Alright, what are you carrying that's so heavy? that. Who is hungry? Shimino is hungry. Alright, well, let's take care of that. Yes, timer, I know. Alright, let's feed Shimino some carrots. There you go. And some grapes. Is that enough now? Aha! There we go. And let's just be nice. We'll put that back there on the pedestal. Alright, so there is something that we can do with that, but we're going to hold off until we're done, I think, exploring around, completely exploring town. There is a lot of stuff to do in this town, and we will do more of it in the next episode. See you then, everyone.